Sandeep Badhar, thank you so much for joining me at E-Times. I am going to talk to you today about the MX Player show Bisat, and I really want to know right from the beginning, ये ऑफर आपके पास जिस दिन से आया, कब आया
जी
और उस वक्त आप कहाँ पर थे और उसके बाद क्या हुआ?
तो विक्रम और मैं काफी टाइम से एक दूसरे के साथ काम करने की बात कर रहे थे एंड ही हैड ऑफर्ड मी थिंग्स इन बिटवीन व्हिच आई कुडंट डू and I was also waiting to do something with Vikram because I know he tells he writes women characters very well. They're very layered and complex and all of that. I wanted to do one in which the woman's part is like a strong meaty part. So I waited and I remember I had this very random phone conversation with him where he told me this concept, Bisat का concept. और उस टाइम वो कुछ और ही शूट कर रहे थे बहुत पासिंग में उन्होंने ये बताया था which I'd liked. So I'd said that if you develop this and once you write it, can I please read it because I would want to be part of it. So he had said okay, but then he got busy doing other things. He was doing hazar other films and web series, and then finally a few months late down the line, he sent it to me. He emailed me the first 3 episodes of Bisat. And he called me up and he said, listen, I've emailed you the 3 episodes. Read it and see what you think of it. I said, okay. And then I started reading the first episode. And at that time, initially, there were 1 hour episodes. They were longer. And now, of course, it's like a half an hour episode. And I started reading it at around, I think, it was some 10:30 or whatever. And I read it through and through. So by the time I finished it, it was 12:30 in the night. And I was on the 3rd episode. That's where like a turning point thing happens. Okay, there's like a cliffhanger. It ends on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit, I want to know what happens next. So I picked up the phone and I called up, Vikram, and I said, listen, I have loved what I've read till now, and I really want to know what happens next. So I'm on for this. Just because as an audience, I want to know what happens next. So I want to do this. Please don't, share this with anybody else. Don't take any other actor. Because I really want to do this. And he was like, it's 12:30 in the night. You're calling me at 12:30 in the night. You could have just waited and told me this tomorrow. I said, no, I was very excited. I had to tell you this before you even give the script to anybody else.
12:30 बजे ये conversation हुई. So my question number 2 is, finally विक्रम ने कब कहा हाँ भाई तुम ही हो? Now sleep well.
बोल दिया था कि मेरी माँ 12:30 बज रहे हैं, तुम ही करोगी ये. So he, the thing with him is that he's not the kind कि आपको offer कर दिया फिर किसी और को दे देंगे या ऐसा कुछ है. So at that time only at 12:30 he said yes you do it, but now let me sleep. I have a shoot tomorrow morning. So that's how I kept the phone down and I was like, chal, theek hai. This I'm doing now.
It's really a good one that you did, and you have done well. So how was it working with Vikram as a director?
The best experience, yeah. I mean, I don't want to take away from all my other directors because I feel like every director is so different. But maybe because my role was such, and Vikram's also written it. But the way he's handled my character and me as an actor, I've not experienced that with any other director that I've worked till now. He has a very sharp mind. He's very like sensitive towards actors, so he knows exactly how to handle them and how to create an environment which is very conducive for the actor. He's a very chilled out, aram se. There's no gussa. He never gets angry. He's a very shant, calm kind of a person. I've also seen him as an individual who respects, from the lightman to the spot boy to the HOD. He gives them the same amount of respect. He doesn't differentiate between people at all. In fact, I'll give you an example. One actor on set reached like almost 4 to 5 hours late. Because something happened and she reached 5-6 hours late than her call time. This man, like any other director, would have been furious and he would have been yelling at the ADs and they would have created a ruckus. This man walks and goes up to the actor's van, and he says, "Are you okay? Did anything major happen? Are you okay to shoot?" So he gives the benefit of doubt to the actor that अगर ये late आया है, तो there must be a solid reason for it.
पहले वो सुन तो लो.
पहले वो सुन तो लो before you blow your mind as to mind off and get angry at somebody. So that's the kind of a person he is, and it's been such a pleasure working with him. And I think he's gotten he's gotten an amazing work out of me, like in terms of the way he's worked with me.
So you said he's very sharp and which I associate probably also with memory and tell me one instance where you were doing something from your accord and he corrected you. No, not this way and this way.
So usually the first 3 days of any shoot, you're basically still exploring how you want to play the character, because you're also finding you're finding the meter, all of that.
Yeah.
And the one thing that had to majorly change to play the character that I play in Bisat Kiana was my energy. So I am quite an energetic, bubbly kind of an individual. My character is not. It's the complete opposite. She's a very calm, collected, very mature. Even the way she talks is very different. There's more therav in the character. So what happened in the first 2 days at least, and the difficult bit was that on the first 2 days we were shooting some of the most difficult parts of the series. Usually usually everyone starts off with all the lighter bits, but Vikram decided to throw us into the deep end, and he said, let's just start with the tougher bits, then then we'll handle the easier bits later on. So to crack that pace, the correct level of therav was what he really helped me with in the first 2 days of shoot, because once I got a hang of it, then I was sorted.
So you are telling me that you were getting too bubbly in the character and maybe a little over the top, and he tried to hold you back.
Yes, like I would sometimes become Sandeepa, because initially you were still figuring it out. Like Sandeepa talks fast, Kiana talks more slowly. She would talk to you in a more calmer manner, but I talk like this. So the first 2 days went in him controlling me, saying, "That's Sandeepa, that's not Kiana. Control yourself." So yeah.
Either you became Vikram Bhatt just now, or you will turn out to be a good director, because you did both, the Sandeepa and the character of.
I mean, I've played both. I've done both, so I should know both now. I also feel, even Vikram says this, that there's a lot of Vikram in Kiana.
He's always taken a lot of his life, and weaved into the character, and he's very open about it.
Correct. I was just going to tell you the same, that what is amazing is that he's very open about sharing those stories with you, and that becomes my raw material when I have to do those scenes. Because he churned out all these stories. He's had quite a roller coaster of a life. So there's so much masala and stuff that you can grasp on.
So I'm looking forward to an interview with him where he will tell us all about these phases in his life.
You'll have such an entertaining person.
Well, so tell me, which was your most difficult scene?
I wish there was just one. There were so many in this, because usually in a film, as an actor, you have like in the entire film, you probably have like 2 major these performance-oriented scenes usually. In this series, I had like 2-3 in every episode that I was doing, and we had 8 episodes. There's a lot of emotional, heavy scenes. There's a lot of crying that I had to do, and I don't use glycerine. So for me, they were very difficult. They were very emotionally draining days. We shot for Bisat for about 50 days, and they were the most heavy days of my life. So they were very difficult. So shooting for Bisat was not easy at all from any angle. Like I think I've used up every emotional memory that I had in my life, and I've used it in Bisat.
Just about to ask you that.
So because in order to get to that zone, I had to bring everything that I've gone through. So all my past heartbreaks, every possible sad memory, I've used it all in order to recreate the emotion at that particular time. So it's all been very difficult. I mean, there are at least 4 to 5 scenes that I can offhandedly tell you, wherein, like, I have this problem, which I'm sure if when you talk with Vikram, he'll also tell you this, that sometimes I get so involved in the emotion that I forget my lines. So I'm like bawling and bawling and bawling and crying and crying and crying. He's waiting for me to say the line. He's just waiting for me to say the line. But I have gotten so consumed by the emotion that I've forgotten what the line is, where I am. Um, but there's one for sure, which is in the climax, which is in the 8th episode, which is the major breakdown scene.
Yeah.
Which was which at the luckily we shot in sync, so we didn't have to dub. I don't know if I don't think I would have ever been able to dub that scene, because what I felt at that moment, I would never be able to recreate that in a dubbing studio. So yeah, and so you will see me a lot of me with swollen eyes in the series, because I've actually cried and cried. So now that the eyes have also become swollen.
So why don't you use glycerin?
I feel like, the one thing that I promised Vikram when I signed the series was that I told him that he's written a really, really lovely story, and I'm going to be as honest as I can as an actor to it. Because I also felt like it's my responsibility, yeah, as if he's written it, then it's my responsibility as an actor to give my 200% to this. And it's my show. So I really, really wanted to give it all. So that's why I didn't want to cheat. I feel like glycerin is an aid. You cheat. It's like that little chit now you carry when you're cheating in your exams. It's that. So I didn't want to do that, and I wanted to see if I can. Actually, it was also a challenge to my own self as an actor, because I know that there are times when you don't feel it. There are days you can have a bad day, but I wanted to see if I can overcome that.
You spoke about heartbreaks. You spoke about heartbreaks,
Yes.
and you say that this was a challenge, these emotional scenes, and you didn't use glycerin. Now, overcoming heartbreaks is also another big challenge. I think perhaps more. How do you, or how did you overcome them?
I think no one can really help you overcome a heartbreak. It's your own self. The others can distract you from it. Nobody can help you get over it. I feel it's something that you have to deal with your own self, and it happens over a period of time. I don't like. I'm sure everybody is different, but with me, over a period of time, I kind of work through it and heal through it. I think the most important thing that I've learned through all of this is that one needs to go through it and experience it. Experience that. Remember that pain, what you went through, and not distract yourself from that pain by putting yourself into work or using your friends as a crutch. Because as an actor, everything that I go through, in fact, the sadder parts that I go through is my pitara that I will use at some point. So I feel like as an actor, I'm, you'll be, it's a very morbid way of looking at it, but I feel like all the hardships, all the difficult bits, all the sad bits that you go through in your life are the biggest gift to you as an actor. Because if you don't have it, then you have to cheat.
That becomes your raw material. That becomes your raw material.
Yeah. Exactly. So I feel like it's very important to remember what you went through at that time.
But just reminds me of a very big story which we did on Tea Times. That how our marriage is crumbling in society today and why. I mean, you find people dating for 6 years, getting married, and in 3 months the marriage is over. Forget those other marriages which are crumbling after 16 and 18 years also today. Maybe even 20. So, Sandeepa, as someone who has had heartbreaks, and I guess most of the people are having in today's times, why do you think this is happening? What's your take on that?
I think हर एक रिश्ते का अपना एक टाइम होता है. I feel like every relationship that is brought into your life is there for a reason to teach you something. And that's what happens. I feel like with every relationship, there's something about you that changes. You learn something from it. And I feel like there's a reason why that person was sent into your life, because you had to learn that bit from that person. Um, and that's how I feel it is. I don't think. Yes, of course. I mean, there are reasons like people, people have become less compromising. People have, people have become less honest with each other. Of course, all those things are there. But I feel like in the bigger picture, you're meant to go through everything that you go through, all the heartbreak that you go through. Every relationship that doesn't work out makes you stronger, teaches you something, and helps you move on to the next thing in your life.
So you're saying that her relationship का एक time होता है, means you're saying that almost or rather all relationships run out of steam, run out of passion after some time.
I feel like, I don't know about steam and passion, but I feel like there's a time frame that has been set, not by you, but in general, by the universe, for those two people to be together.
Run out
And
of faith
once you
and run out of faith also, and run out of, the time duration, as you are broadly classifying it as.
So once you run out of that time, two people go their own separate ways, or they move on to other things in their life.
So every relationship has an expiry date. The final question, the inevitable question is, does Sandeepa believe in the institution of marriage?
Yes, I do. I've got parents who've been married for almost 40 years now, 42 years. And I definitely believe in marriage because I see their relationship and I want a relationship like that. I want a marriage like that. So I'm a firm believer of, and I'm also, I'm a very, I'm a full on commitment person, like in the sense that when I'm, for me, every relationship is like marriage. So I'm a huge believer in giving it all to, like, I think I'm that kind of a person who gives it all to a relationship, and then for me that becomes like it's not like I'm looking at other options and I'm playing the field. I'm not that kind of person. I'm very old school that way.
Well, thank you so much for your time. It clearly shows that what you're saying in the last answer is that exceptions to the rule always exist, and you're looking for that exception now, who will be settling down firmly with you. I wish you all the best, Sandeepa.
That I want a boy like him. So somebody who's like my dad somewhere out there, please call me.
So I wish you all the best, not just in this personal aspect of your life, but your professional life, which is now definitely looking up. And thank you so much for joining me at E-Times.
Thank you so much, Vicky, for having me. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.